In Tamale, we are live on Kesmi 107.1 FM, and while we are on W93.5, we are streaming across the world on 3news.com. Coming up this morning, Accra High Court to hear injunction application on NDC primaries today after NDC's Council of Elders failed to get Dr. Dufour for an out-of-court settlement.
Hours before the time of the meeting, I was called and told that Dr. Dufour's lawyers have advised that they should not meet me.
Ghana Education Service comes under heavy criticism following the drowning of 9 children after a canoe carrying them capsized.
If life jackets were supplied to all the island communities, yesterday we wouldn't have heard, the same story we are hearing.
We'll hear from the GA shortly on the back of this, plus mining communities recording increased cases of babies born with deformities.
I realized that lead, mercury, and cyanide are things, in fact, to some larger and some lesser extent, cadmium. These are heavy metals that are causing problems.
We will be hearing from a pathologist carrying out this particular research. And Accra High Court throws out Capital Bank CEO Atu Asen application to renegotiate payment of stolen 60 million Ghana cedis. Details of these and some other stories coming your way. Please to stay with us. Thank you for staying. My name is Godwin Asediba. Let's delve into the details now. And Accra High Court will this morning hear the injunction suit brought against the National Democratic Congress by flag-bearer hopeful Dr. Kwabena Dufour. Dr. Dufour wants Saturday's primaries of the party put on hold because his side has not been furnished with an accurate list of persons who are supposed to participate in the parliamentary polls. He therefore wants the court to put the elections on hold and have the party engage candidates on a roadmap towards drawing up an accurate list of voters. Meanwhile, the national chairman of the National Democratic Congress, Johnson Esidu insists that the calendar of the party as regards Saturday's primaries remains intact until the outcome of the injunction suit on Friday, May 12. According to him, the primaries have not been called off as perceived by many. Take a listen.
Some hours before the time of the meeting, I was called and told that Dr. Dufour's lawyers have advised that they should not meet me.
Our preparations are up to date at this stage. Whatever the outcome of the court will be, we will adjust our next program going forward from after the court hearing. We have not called off the elections yet because we don't know what the outcome of the court will be. So things are where they are, and then after the court decides, we will take a decision based on what the court directs. We are assuring them that party leadership has done nothing wrong. We have tried as much as possible to abide faithfully by the guidelines we issued.
Meanwhile, my colleague Komla Kluchi reports that the Council of Elders of the National Democratic Congress is pushing to have an out-of-court settlement after the legal team of the NDC failed to get Dr. Kwabena Dufour's lawyers to have the injunction suit heard on Thursday despite an agreement reached with the Chief Justice.
A last-minute attempt by the legal team of the opposition NDC to have the court hear the injunction suit by flag-bearer hopeful Dr. Kwabena Dufour on Thursday ahead of the scheduled Friday haters snaggers lawyers of the applicant failed to show up in court. The lawyers for the NDC had petitioned the Chief Justice to have the case brought forward, an application the Chief Justice, we understand, granted on condition that the other party would avail themselves for an expeditious trial. Checks by TV3 at the court indicate that Dr. Dufour's team was unavailable until the court closed. The suit, as almost thwarting the Saturday, May 13th election, has caused many, including the Council of Elders led by Alhaji Muhammad Idrisu, to meet the parties in an attempt to intervene in what could be an out-of-court settlement. A meeting scheduled for Wednesday 8 p.m. to address the matter did not see fruition as lawyers for the Dufour team allegedly advised their clients against attending any such meeting as the matter is sub judice.
Still on the NDC primaries, a former political science lecturer at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Dr. Richard Amwakoba, says the NDC cannot on its own run the primaries without the participation of the Electoral Commission. The EC had earlier said it will not supervise the Saturday primaries until all the legal issues are resolved, citing its inability to mobilize resources within a short period. However, speaking on Ghana Tonight, Dr. Amwakoba said the EC would be doing the right thing by refusing to supervise the elections.
For you to come and read the Political Party Act and say there's nothing in it, therefore you can do whatever, it's irresponsible. No, you can't do that. So the political party, can they go over there and then all in papers raise your hand and they elect a candidate? Can they do that? No. This is a national election and it has to be under the supervision of the Electoral Commission. Yes, it shouldn't be able to. It shouldn't. They should go to court and find out what should happen, not by their own volition decide to do whatever they want. This is a national election because the Constitution says national, regional, and constitutional elections must be supervised by the Electoral Commission. How can you go and do it?
Trust us to bring you a comprehensive coverage tomorrow if the elections do come on. Away from that, let's turn attention to a rather sad story. The Education Service GES has come under heavy criticisms following the drowning of 9 children at Fana, an island community in the Greater Accra region. 12 people, including the canoe owner, were said to be on board when the incident occurred, leaving 9 of them dead. A teacher with the Chinokope MA Primary School in Karachi municipality in the OT region has also met his untimely death. Samson Edu, 29, died when the boat he was traveling on capsized. Education think tank Africa Education Watch says the incident could be avoided if the GES had provided life jackets to all pupils in the island communities. He is Executive Director of Education Watch, Kofi Asare.
It's very unfortunate that the GES did not heed to our advice to provide life jackets to all island communities, to all schools in island communities, in order to save the lives of its own employees and then the students. If life jackets were supplied to all the island communities, yesterday we wouldn't have heard, the same story we are hearing. So we work in a lot of communities, some of them island, in the northern region, in the Volta region. We are not aware of any life jacket that have been shed. And even the life jacket was a temporary measure. We indicated the need for plans to provide schools in island communities.
Meanwhile, the Ghana Education Service has commiserated with bereaved families who drowned, unfortunately, and in a statement that was released on May 11, 2023 by the Ghana Education Service, it reads, the Ghana Education Service has received with shock another devastating news concerning 12 pupils who got drowned on their way home, and 9 unfortunately met the untimely death. On Wednesday, May 10, 2023, 12 pupils, 5 from Services Awareness Academy and 7 from Redeemer Academy, all private schools, and Ria Boman in the Wejak municipality, were returning from school on a boat to Fana in the Gas South municipality around 4:30 p.m. The boat they were using was hit by tidal waves and it capsized. 9 of them, comprising 7 girls and 2 boys aged between 2 years and 10 years, lost their lives. In a related development, Mr. Samson Edu, a 29-year-old teacher at Chinekope MA Primary School in the Karachi West Municipality, also met his untimely death when the boat he was traveling on capsized. Mr. Edu has since been buried in his hometown in the Eastern region. With a heavy heart, management expresses its deepest condolences to the bereaved families and assure them that our hearts and prayers are with them in these trying moments. And this was signed by the head of Public Relations Unit, Cassandra Chum Ampofo, of the Ghana Education Service. Away from that, the Ghana National Teachers Association, NAT, has served notice of a nationwide demonstration together with school children to get government to provide life jackets for school children on island communities. General Secretary of NAT, Thomas Musa Tanko, was reacting to the report on the death of 9 children at Fana in the Weija municipality of the Greater Accra region.
In fact, what has happened this time round, We might say never again should this thing happen to the children of this country. The children of this country deserve better. They deserve better. Together with their teachers, they deserve better. If because the children cannot hold press conferences, if it is because the children cannot even go on demonstration and all those things, people will have to organize the children for them, the children to start talking to the powers that be. Now look, we are tired. Look, how much will it cost us to provide them with life jackets? How much? No, tell me how much. Are we saying that we cannot provide them, these children with life jackets? Granted that we cannot even, in the interim, can't we provide them with life jackets?
Let's turn attention to some health stories now. There's a high recorded cases of newborn babies with deformities in mining communities. A forensic pathologist and head of KNUST School of Medicine and Dentistry, Dr. Paul Osei, has observed that illegal mining activities which continue to contaminate food crops and river bodies have far-reaching consequences on human health, partly why the country's health facilities are overwhelmed by strange diseases and defects in births.
Then the babies that are delivered or not delivered, the mothers died with their babies. And so I was made to come and remove the babies from their mother's uterus or the uteruses so that they can bury these children separately from their mothers. So having done that, what it means that I had the opportunity to even take the mother's placenta with me. When I decided to examine the placenta to find out the form of deformities, I realized that lead, mercury, and cyanide are things, in fact, to some larger, some lesser extent, cadmium. These are heavy metals that are causing problems.
Let's do some legal issues now. The High Court in Accra has refused an application by defunct Capital Bank CEO Atu Essien to renegotiate the agreement with the state to refund 60 million Ghana cedis stolen from the state, and has adjourned the case to May 17, 2023. The lawyers moved the application when the state was set to argue its case on why Atu Essien should be jailed for not meeting the terms of repaying the 60 million Ghana cedis owed to the state. The state filed the application after the convict failed to meet his financial obligations under the agreement that initially enabled him to escape a jail sentence. Atu Essien pleaded guilty to the charges of stealing and money laundering for his involvement in the collapse of Capital Bank. Well, let's do some other stories now. The latest research by global NGO Oxfam has revealed income of cocoa farmers in Ghana fell by 60% since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. The study, which focused on the living income of farmers responsible for Ghana's highest foreign exchange earner, identified the growers of the cash crop live off under $2 a day. My colleague Eric Mawena Egbeta has been studying the report.
According to the survey, net incomes have fallen on average by 16% since 2020, with women's incomes fallen by nearly 22%. Many of the farmers, according to the report, could not afford enough food and other basic amenities, while up to 90% of Ghanaian cocoa farmers did not earn a living income. The report further revealed that many of the 800,000 farmers in the country survive on just $2 a day. For Ghana Cocoa Board, the living income differential is a step to address the challenges identified in the report.
Our engagement with the chocolate manufacturers has gone on for some number of years. We've seen price at the terminal market improving.
That's all we have for you this morning on 3FM 92.7. There's more news if you log on to 3news.com. Don't forget to also get interactive with us across all social media platforms at 3FM 92.7. My name is Godwin Asediba. The show continues shortly. Please don't go anywhere.
Life doesn't come with